Hey guys, Dust Off Airsoft here, bringing you back to another installment of the Vietnam Airsoft series. In this video, we'll be bringing you back to the Hunter Killer series and a continuation of the last video. After we had concluded our several ambushes, we then proceeded to move northeast along the ridge line to where we heard combat ensuing between two other groups. As you'll see, we took our time and were making sure we were moving stealthily. We didn't want to let the other teams know that we were in the area or which way we were coming from. So we wanted to take our time and catch them unawares. Luckily, the foliage on the ridgeline here is very green and made it very nice and easy for us to move through it without making a lot of noise. Again, when we do speak to each other, we are in very hushed tones, not to be heard. So unfortunately, that means most of the videos are fairly quiet other than the guns creaking and then when we finally go to shoot. You'll notice as we move along, we're using a bounding tactic, where one of us moves up into a position and then the other one moves up after once the other one is set. This is a very good tactic to use, especially in a small unit combat such as the ones we were engaging in. Makes it so where even if one of us moves too far in and engages the enemy, the other one is far enough back that we can either flank, maneuver, find cover, or provide cover for the other to bound backwards. As much as I do enjoy the small force-on-force operations, I would like to see in the future that more people would come out to these so that we can do larger force-on-force operations. As we were getting closer, I wanted to make sure my outward facing camera was working, as I'd been having quite a bit of issues with these run cams. The outward one I noticed I have more problems with than the POV one. I'm not sure really what was going on with it. I had purchased extra batteries, but it seems that no matter what I did, I've been having issues with them. At this point, we're right on top of where we heard the commotion of the other two squads engaging. We're scanning the area and seeing if they're anywhere still nearby, looking for movement or any disturbances in the brush. Upon inspection, we have confirmed that they are indeed in the area still, and are currently just getting ready to move out along the ridgeline back down south, trying to slip by us and around back down into the lower portion of the property. From here, now that we've confirmed it, I had to make sure that Wyatt was on the same page as me, as he was flanking to my right to try to cut off their route down the hill. Once I had confirmed his position, it was time for us to engage. Once we had started firing, we had taken down one of them, and the other one had dove into the bushes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to penetrate through those bushes with the AK I had on hand. After receiving some incoming fire going over my head, luckily I was behind a large boulder, I decided it was time to break contact there and try to flank around and bound around Wyatt to try to figure out where the other one was hiding from. Now that I had lost visual of the enemy, it was time for me to play the old reconnaissance by fire. In this, I was just shooting into the random bushes where I thought the other player might be while moving up. In doing this, it was only able to really suppress the area and help my teammate Wyatt continue his flank around to try to cut off any enemy. Unbeknownst to us at this point, he had already bounded back out of view and down back northeast, down over the hill and into the bottom of the lowlands. Unbeknownst to me, my other outward-facing camera lens that I was working so hard to try to keep going had quit on me long ago in the day, pretty much after the ambushes, and I had no other footage from it, unfortunately. Better to be safe than sorry, we were still very cautious, as we still had a visual on one that we had downed and who was bleeding out on the ground. We had thought it odd that we weren't getting any return fire, as we didn't see why the other player would leave his comrade behind and completely leave the area. We thought he was at least still close by, waiting to pop an ambush on us when we got too close to search his friend. At this point, Wyatt had to go in and search the other enemy player, and we had confirmed that his other teammate had bounded out of the area and was nowhere to be seen. As we had been searching the other player, we had failed to realize that the Jeep had been driving up the road behind us and caught us unawares. We then proceeded to, of course, attack the Jeep. In doing so, we killed the driver and then proceeded to move on. Once me and Wyatt had regrouped, we learned that they didn't have any coins on them, unfortunately, our tokens that we were trying to find. So we continued on, and we eventually found something really cool. And so we began our journey back down in a long, wide wagon wheel of an arc, down to the south and then back to the east, where we eventually dropped down over the hill. That will be continued in the next episode. Thank you for watching.